morning, colleagues. So we'd like to speak to you about what is happening in Cameroon when it comes to forestry taxation. We have been trying to change things, and we understood that mostly it's money which changes things. So we're trying to see how we can change behaviors when it comes to forests. We tried to, and we did this by trying to change taxation. The situation in Cameroon is that there's a large deforestation process within a context of large illegalities, despite all our efforts. And so for years, we have tried to work with the Ministry of Forests, and the results have been pretty modest. So we tried to change our ways of doing things and started working with the Ministry of Finance. We proposed us on what Alain Carnessi has presented last time, because we worked with him as well, a situation of MALUS bonus. The idea is that we'd like to have a win-win situation. Our will as the EU is to have less deforestation and more legalities, of course. And the other winning point for the Cameroon side is that on their end, they have larger fiscal taxation incentives. So more legality, less deforestation. And for us, we've thought that the best way would be to support forestry certification, two types of certification. One is on the origin, and the other one is on sustainability. So it's much better than the situation we had. We want to favor all the companies which are sustainable and which are legal, benefit from a bonus. On the right hand of the slide, you can see this. So 34% of companies have been certified. The numbers are not that important, but the important thing is that they pay fewer taxes. As you can see, 35% or 25% when compared to the MALUS side, where we have 45% for those which are not certified. As well, we have other allowances where we have 4% or 3% on one side and 6% on the other side. So this is the principle of the MALUS bonus, is to make sure that companies are certified in order to make use of this bonus. So Emily will speak about the reality, but this was, let's say, the theory. Next slide. So earlier we spoke about the win-win situation for the treasury in Cameroon. We can understand that this is a difficult situation, but if they introduced such a taxation incentives, there would be fiscal gains of more than 18% when it comes to taxation. And this is the negotiation which we need to have with the state. We need to reassure them that what you're going to lose, let's say, with the bonus, so with the certified companies, you're going to win with the MALUS, so the companies which are not registered, which are not certified. So there, it is not just equal between the losses and the gains, but there is a plus 18% of fiscal tax revenues which are increased. So thank you. Next slide, please. So this is to try to explain how we apply this in Cameroon. So first, it starts off from a note Stefan prepared to show to the government and Ministry of Finance the fiscal losses every year in the country. So this had already convinced the Ministry of Finance on the need to look at this. So we started in 2020 with trying to include budgetary support on the rural sector, including forests, and we also worked on this bonus malus being transposed into the law. The Ministry of Forests, however, did not support this, so we changed the indicators, we modified a bit following a dialogue, but it was without appeal, and no action had been taken because the Ministry of Forestry has quite a voice on this. We worked on this with Ellen Garnesty. So what we tried to do in June 2021, we organized a workshop on forestry taxation incentives, and we worked with different stakeholders, and we had DG Taxes, DG Customs, and Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Forestry also involved in a virtual manner, and they intervened on the several issues. Their argument has always been private certification. Then we had another indicator which allowed the database of tax revenues, where we could collect all the information from customs, finance, and exports. So this was a long-term project in order to wait for the Ministry of Forestry to give the data to the Ministry of Finance. So finally, we got the Ministry of Forestry were forced to share the data, and so that is a success. So we hope that this will continue. So this database allows the Ministry of Finance to publish a report on the gaps and also to identify the companies which are problematic. They did this for last year. They contacted the companies in order to get the money. So in this manner, it works. What we did this year was that we tried to send a written proposal to the Ministry of Finance to introduce this incentive bonus malus in next year's legislation, always with the assistance of Alain Castille. We do not have the complete result of this trial, let's say, but the Ministry of Finance has been showing a huge interest in this work. What we're trying to do this year, at the end of the year, is a training on this forestry incentives for the program of securitization of tax revenues when it comes to forestry. So this is an approach of incentives. Of course, this is not evident. We need a lot of dialogue on a political level, discussion with the Ministry of Forestry, let's say a more or less open discussion. It's not that easy, to be fair. So those are what we have tried to do. Those who are interested in learning more, we can share the indicators which were suggested, and do not hesitate if you'd like to have a copy. So to conclude, on the following slide. That's it. Do not underestimate economic policy. So we were working with the Ministry of Forestry. It did not work, so we started working with the Ministry of Finance, and that is where we reached some success, let's say. Anything you'd like to add, Stefano? No? Okay.